welcome back to another episode of Dragon Age: The Veilguard. We will be jumping right into it. Right, talk to Emmerich and Davrin.
A third edition of the Unnameable Elements? I didn't even know it had editions.
Oh, it's much improved with the index. Please, borrow it if you'd like.
I'd love to. Oh, Rook, you probably wanted to say hi. Thanks, Professor.
You look moved in.
Just a few essentials. Manfred was a great help with the boxes. What a fascinating place this lighthouse is. What do you make of it?
It's impressive, but it doesn't have the scope of the tombs back home.
What does? Still, what a refreshing marvel.
Ballara's already running experiments.
She's kindly shown me around. However, I noticed a few of the others taken aback by Manfred, and I overheard remarks about my skulls. My necromancy won't cause any undue worry, will it?
We'll be fighting weirder stuff than necromancy.
Ah, that's the hope. Please excuse me. Manfred and I should finish our inventory. Thank you for stopping by.
Okay, quest right off the bat. Okay.
By the way, Rook, before I left, Myrna and Vorgarth asked if we could assist with an outbreak of hauntings across Thedas. They also mentioned displaced wisps in the necropolis. I'm not sure what's frightened them, but it bears investigation.
A watcher's work is never done.
How true. I'll send word the necropolis should expect us.
Versus spirits. Okay. Oh, yeah, I already did that. No.
Taking a walk? voices, many wanderers. Life returns to the lighthouse.
Cool.
Huh. It looks like our boy Hassan is feeling his oats, or whatever griffins feel.
He's getting the hang of it when he listens.
He seems to be able to handle himself so far.
You got lucky the Gloomhowler didn't tear you to pieces, boy. You wait for my command. We attack together. Then we can kill stuff like that.
At least he's learning.
The instincts kick in. Griffins see darkspawn and it's a fight to the death. Like wolves hunting deer. Just need to corral it.
Sounds like the perfect soldier. And he even flies.
Aerial cavalry. A full-grown griffin is a force of nature. Every muscle in him, every talon, every feather, honed into a killing machine. Hassan's ancestors took on archdemons.
Like his name says, he's an arrow.
Half lion, half eagle, with the instincts of both, griffins will always be hunters.
Just like his daddy, Davrin.
I suppose we are our nature.
Not sure about that?
Most of my life I've hunted the darker things in the world. But caring for a griffin? What do I know about that? Yet here I am.
That's not so bad, is it?
Not the path I expected. Makes me wonder about Hassan, his brothers and sisters. Still young. Pure.
You're worried?
I'm responsible for the future of every griffin alive. I want it to be a good one. These animals live to fight, but I wonder if there's another path for them.
I'd like to think everyone can find a new path. Even griffins.
Just wish I knew what it was.
Doesn't every good parent?
Parents. A scary word. I'm supposed to be his bodyguard.
What do you think you've been doing this whole time?
Trying to ignore it. If I get myself killed by a Hurlock, that's on me. If it's Hassan, I just don't want to mess it up.
I think that's where trust comes in. That Turlum idea you keep talking about. Trust Hassan to find his way. Don't force things.
He's headstrong.
Good thing you are too.
Right. Thanks for the chat.
Let's ask Myrna and Vorgoth about these hauntings.
I'd also appreciate it if we could see to those displaced wisps. As I'm sure Rook's explained, the spirits of the Grand Necropolis reside here willingly. Most of our working dead are animated by unseen wisps, which are more than impulses from the pain. But later, I will introduce you to some truly intelligent undead.
So you know a thing or two about wisps?
As much as any watcher of my rank.
I might have questions for you later.
I'm close. I didn't quite level up. Gold. I love gold.
What do we have here? Let's see if we can figure this out. Here's one of those scattered wisps you mentioned, Emmerich.
It's out of alignment. Let's find a receptacle for it while it recovers.
Let's see if we can figure this out. We got it. That did it. I wonder what this is about. The door's locked. Maybe it'll open if we bring more wisps.
Locked to keep us out, or locked to keep something in?
They're powerfully warded, and yet someone passed through these doors not long ago.
That just leaves one.
Is that the last of them? We need one more wisp for that locked door.
Right. Let's look around. There we go. That last wisp's unlocked this door. Let's take a look.
That goes to you. Dead Venatori. That demon in here must have killed them, but how'd they get past the lock before us?
An excellent question.
Sealed tight.
Stand back. Are you Venatori? Other sniffing rats? What form have you all? This vault's riches are mine. I tore them from the dead, and with me, they will remain.
Definitely a demon.
And a powerful one, to have been kept behind such ancient locks instead of simply banished.
Let's search around. Maybe the Venatori knew something.
Okay, Enderfell's to enter Harlequin.
This note says the door's seals are tied to demons out in the world. Killing them unseals the door, but they'll keep returning until we destroy whatever's behind the door itself.
Nasty trick, but we can't ignore it.
The Order would be grateful. I've never even heard of this spirit.
Let's keep an eye out.
Rook, Emmerich, your return is most welcome. We require the aid of Watchers.
Your letter spoke of hauntings?
Malign spirits freed by the gods.
They have concretized into a variety of forms. Left unchecked, these spirits will cause great harm.
They must be put to rest.
This haunting was once a spirit of curiosity.
It has turned to a darker purpose.
We must keep track of our skeletal assistants. Rook, Professor, a new group of Venatori trespass in the Shrouded Halls.
The gall of them!
They come in search of plunder.
We'll put a stop to that.
Prepare well. Victory to the living.
Of course, it opens on the other side.
If our contact is right,
Search the whole place. Have you seen how far down it goes?
Witness and destroy!
Trouble ahead. Masterfully done, Rook.
Looks like the Venatori plan on taking a few things with them.
The villains. Manfred Fred?
Sure. You walked into my office. I said, Fred. Can I call you Fred? You nodded. Seemed happy about it. If he doesn't like it...
Oh, man.
There's a haunting.
We're under fire! So that's what it would be like if Fred went wrong.
Manfred would... never be so vicious. Though, when pressed the wrong way, errant spirits...
I think this wisp wants something. For us? Thanks.
Very generous.
Wonder what their story was.
I could ask, if you'd like.
Stumbling. The steps. Skeletons saw. Oh. No choice. Had to be brave. Had to be brave. Too late to cry. Save the boy with the grave.
more Venatori, and they're summoning a demon this time.
Ready if you are.
Venatori sure made themselves cozy here.
They settle in fast, like roaches.
The cultists will be staying longer than they imagined.
Myrna and Borgoth will be happy. I think that's the last of the trespassing Venatori.
It's a travesty so many of them gathered here undetected. We really must raise some new corpse guards. Certainly.
Got it.
Wait, you. What? You need outside? Okay, I'll be right back. My dog needs out. I am back.
What do you dream of in the dark?
No! Not yet! Don't bury me! I'm alive! I'm still alive! It's open. There's light.
Well, that was dark. I don't know what to call that. Can't go through that door.
I see we've company. A solid hit!
You don't burn the dead? Any of them?
Guevara is dedicated to preserving the deceased. I suppose the Grand Necropolis may seem a bit exotic to everyone but Rook.
Can't see it every day.
A fine hit, Rook.
last of them. These are instructions. Lighting candles will drive away malign spirits from the vaults.
An ancient practice. Let us see if it avails us.
Let's look for those candles we have that will cleanse this place. Last candle. The vaults should be quieter now.
The air grows lighter already.
Have the vows in the vaults of the beloved been renewed?
That skeleton that used to be a spirit of curiosity is gone.
Our gratitude. The magic animating this haunting is ancient.
The gods stole its slumber.
I fulfilled my oaths. The Venatori won't disturb us any longer.
Excellent. May our pacts with the dead hold true.
They will watch where we cannot.
There are no further signs of the Venatori. However, we may wish to send some back as cautionary examples to the rest.
Yes.
Well, since I've got two here, we'll take care of the both of them.
Over there. That could be the haunting spirit Myrna told us about.
It's the Nocturnix, an ancient spirit whose sleep is stolen by the gods. Now it steals the dreams of others.
One less spirit stirring up trouble.
May he rest now and find the sleep that eluded him. Dream well.
I still have a Finn Harl statue I need to finish. There you are. Yeah, that'll do. Yep, no, I didn't. Can't believe I missed one of these. The other one I could understand, it wasn't showing up.
Company, get ready.
There you are. Always grab a free skill point.
call Manfred Fred?
Sure. He walked into my office. I said, Fred. Look there. Well, back to our point.
It's not enough you disturb my sleep. Now you interrupt my journey in the waking world.
That sounds like the trapped demon in the necropolis.
Degree the shapeshifter. I'll flay you alive before you find the treasure I prepared.
That demon knew us. It sounded exactly like the one trapped behind that sealed door in the necropolis.
So it did.
A multi-localized sending. The malign spirit trapped in the vault can project facets of its reality into the outer world.
Let's turn this one in real quick, since it might lead into another one.
The shrouded halls have been...
We got rid of that haunting in Arlington.
It sleeps once again.
Excellent work. You've news?
Fair omens. Prepare well. We shall meet again.
Let's see, nothing there, nothing there. Nope. No. Nope. Okay. So we'll do the two here.
Has anyone been held accountable for the damage the palace did to the city?
I hear the Magisterium is talking about it.
That's all they do, isn't it? Talk about it. Push the blame around.
These things take time.
You call Manfred Fred?
Sure. He walked into my office. I said, Fred, can I call you Fred? He nodded. Seemed happy about it. If he doesn't like it...
Oh, Manfred doesn't mind. He quite likes you. Does the Let's continue our discussion. Does the diminutive imply a certain level of comfort with the necromantic arts?
It shows a certain level of comfort with your friend. The rest of it, well, that depends.
On what?
On what the mage using it is up to.
Another of those Fen'Harel altars.
Cool. Oh, there it is.
Look, over there.
You return.
It's the trapped spirit from the necropolis.
Is it pride that molds you? Do you think you can succeed in facing me where the Venatori failed?
We're on fire. Look out! Emmerich takes this round.
Tongue-tied. Fast travel there, and run the...
I can't believe how many people they executed.
Why did Morgan want to meet in Minrathous? Isn't she helping the Veil Jumpers in Arlathan?
Indeed, but today we have a guest, and he needed the anonymity that only a city provides.
Well, look who it is.
Good to see you, Lace.
Rook, you remember how Varric and I served the Inquisition? Well, this is Inquisitor Trevelyan, the man who led us all.
You here to help, or are you taking over?
I'm not taking over. Solus fooled the Inquisition. He fooled me. Your team stopped him. And your team is dealing with the gods that escaped.
So you've heard about them?
Morgan and Harding have told me about what you've accomplished since taking over for Varric. You've put together an impressive team. And you've got the best chance, maybe the only chance, to stop Elgar'nan and Gillenane.
Sounds like I'm cleaning up your mess.
Rook.
No, Harding. This is my mess.
The Inquisition sealed the breach and stopped Corypheus. We saved the world.
We also left southern Thedas vulnerable to Qunari invasion, as the Exalted Council showed.
But the Inquisition didn't start the Mage Rebellion. We didn't start any of this.
We did our best. But our best had consequences. When those consequences became apparent, I turned the Inquisition over to the Chantry, rather than create even bigger political problems. Too many leaders claim credit while avoiding responsibility. I won't be one of them. So, Rook, I am asking you to help me clean up my mess.
Okay.
And while you do so, Rook, the Inquisitor will do his best to ensure that the rest of the world remains intact. A daunting prospect, given that most of the South is under siege by Darkspawn.
It's that bad?
If not for the Inquisitor, the South would have collapsed completely. He has not been idle while you assembled your team.
If the South is in such turmoil, why come up here just to talk? And how did you get here so fast?
Did you think you were the only one to unlock the secrets of the Illuvians?
Morgan helped the Inquisition use the Illuvians to travel.
While I lack the Dreadwolf's Viravus, I may still scurry between the walls of this world to be where I might do the most good. The Inquisitor asked to meet you, and I thought it might help you to meet him.
I thought the gods were mostly active up here. It's really that bad in the South?
Elgar'nan and Gillenane have indeed restricted their activities to the north. But the forces they deployed to the south, the strange new Darkspawn, have spread fear and corruption greater than any blight in history.
Darkspawn have cut through the center of Orlais. Val Royeaux and Halam Sharal are barely holding out. Ferelden would have fallen already if not for help from Orzammar. With Denerim lost, the Fereldans are holding the line at Redcliffe. The Free Marches have the worst of it. Acting Viscount Aveline Valen led the evacuation of Kirkwall. She's taking her people and what's left of her army to help Prince Vale keep Starkhaven.
Maker, we didn't know. My ma...
Don't worry. I talked to the Divine and your mother's safe with the Inquisition.
Thank you.
The Inquisition might just be an arm of the Chantry now, but we've still done our part to get people to fight this threat together. Again, the South is my problem, not yours, Rook. You stop the gods, and I'll make sure the rest of Thedas doesn't fall to the Blight.
What I really need right now is information. If you have anyone who can help.
I'm sorry. The only reliable sources of information I have up here are Morgan, Dorian, and Harding.
All of whom are already helping us. I understand.
The Inquisitor did not come all this way to leave you with empty words, however. He brought something no one else could.
A wolf statuette. We've found others like it in the crossroads. Where'd you find yours?
I found it right around the time Solus's ritual failed, when he was pulled into the Fade. We've examined the magic, and it's tied to the Veil. To him, somehow.
Solus is ancient, and his magic is part of him in a way far beyond that of mortals. I suggest you take it to the crossroads and see if something in the lighthouse calls to it. Perhaps it will yield some insight into your new ally.
appreciate it. Solus has been helpful while he's trapped in the Fade. But anything that can help me get inside his head will help counter him getting inside mine.
Wisely spoken. Solus rarely lies directly, but he finds ways to weave the truth into a noose you find yourself wearing.
I considered Solus a friend. I had hoped to convince him to see reason. It's too late for that now. But still, if this can give you some insight, help you understand him, whatever it turns out to be, I hope that it helps.
We should go, Inquisitor. The armies in the south need you.
Right. Harding, stay sharp. You're my eyes in the north.
Always, Inquisitor.
Rook, good luck. If I come across anything else that can help you, you'll be the first to know.
Thank you.
Cool. I got to meet the Inquisitor. Not quite the Inquisitor I made, unfortunately, but still. Take care of these two in the lighthouse real quick, and then we will move on to wherever it was.
I'm sorry, but I find it completely unnatural.
I don't get why you think cremation's so bad. Everyone outside Navarra burns their dead.
All those lost vessels, fine mansions reduced to ash. Manfred, for instance. How would his wisp have fared if I hadn't given it a body?
Where or, who'd you get his body from?
There was no single donor. The arms were recovered from a charnel pit. The ribs were a gift from a dear friend. And Manfred's wisp picked out his own skull from some donations. That was quite the day. He's been fine company during my Necropolis excursions ever since.
What does Manfred understand exactly?
Simple things, but he grows. Spirits of curiosity are voracious learners. The more he experiences, the more sophisticated his conclusions. With guidance, of course.
Manfred's very aware for one of the common dead.
Isn't he? You can see why I couldn't leave him behind. I encountered him as a wisp in the Necropolis years ago. A simple spirit, but so curious. He refused to leave my side.
So, you built a skeleton for the spirit to live in?
Spirits are formed from the emotions and desires of people in the mortal realm. Manfred's wisp came from curiosity. It's these spirits which animate the dead. Their drive revives the corpse, yet the corpse colors their actions. Thus, the eternal question, are undead inhuman spirits puppeting a body, or does some shade of the departed return?
I debated that enough during my tenure at the Necropolis, if it's all the same.
I belong to the side that believes in a deeper resurrection, but let's let the subject lie.
Wow.
Wow.
You know, you sound different when you talk more and watch things. Way fancier.
I do no such... No, I don't.
Thanks, Professor. I learned a lot today.
My pleasure. Rook, hello. How thoughtful, Rook.
Oh yeah, what I'm looking here. Awesome. Rock, paper, scissors with a skeleton. And I lost. That's funny.
I cannot say.
Who created you?
I cannot say.
What can you say?
I cannot say.
Right. Deserve that.
Got the archive spirit working, I see.
Rook, you're here. And I did, sort of. A little bit. It appears, but it won't tell me anything.
You simply ask the wrong questions. A common affliction of the weak-minded.
Also that. It's kind of mean.
You should remind that thing who's in charge.
That's an idea. Syrian learned a lot, taught me a lot about these archives. They have, well, not thoughts like us, but sort of pathways, I guess. They can only respond to specific questions worded in specific ways. So, if you're powerful, like almost God level powerful, how would you talk to someone you see as lesser?
Given our examples, I'd be kind of a demanding jerk.
Right! So, let's try that. Archive, tell me who built you.
One of the greatest of Elvenar, a steward of her glory. Truly, I was blessed to bathe in his warmth. Anaris built me, and to him I shall someday return.
You mean the Forgotten One?
I cannot say.
Good point. It came later.
What do you mean by it came later?
Oh, I meant later after Elvenon fell. We didn't call them the Forgotten Ones till after that. They were the bad gods. Disease, pestilence, weren't supposed to speak their names. Not like the good gods, you know, Elgernon, Gillenane. But now we know the truth about the Evanurus. So we don't know for sure what the Forgotten Ones were, I mean. They used to say Solus was one, so best case scenario, like him. Worst case, well, you heard it talk.
Right. So this thing's dangerous if it belonged to one of them.
Could be, but still important and invaluable. Everything Anaris knew, this thing knows, and my people deserve to know. If I can get it to tell me.
Archive. Tell me about the Dreadwolf.
An ideologue and a fool who will soon pay the price. When Anaris dispatches the Evanurus, he will spare a thought for Fen'Harel.
Archive. Tell me about the Evanurus.
A group of cowards, hiding behind their more powerful magic and superior numbers. Their jealousy of Anaris was palpable. Their war is unending. But Anaris will prevail.
Don't piss it off, or accidentally bring back a would-be god.
The two we've got aren't really would-be, but they're probably enough.
Good call.
Okay, I'll get back to it. Thanks, Rook.
The only one that doesn't have a conversation is hurting. Okay, let's go talk to Davra.
Sorry. Didn't mean to interrupt.
Please do. I need to hear an actual voice now and then.
Can't imagine why.
I'm starting to dream that I'm a griffin. Squawk.
Asan? It's bad manners not to answer someone.
Right. So what brings you by?
Just curious, really. Wondering what it's like being a Grey Warden. They've always been these legendary warriors living apart from the world.
Don't know about that. I spent time with people who were bad right up till they took their vow.
How so?
Weishaupt is the last stop for the wrong sort. If you're facing prison or worse, you can always join the Grey Wardens and take your chances with the Blight.
I've heard about Weishaupt. Never been there.
It's a giant fortress and home of the Grey Wardens. It's been standing for as long as anyone remembers. At least since the first Blight.
Does it have floating buildings like the lighthouse?
No, but things float up from the latrines.
Fun bunch you hang out with.
The wrong sort have their charm.
And just how, wrong are the wrong sort?
Thieves, brigands, pirates, and the odd murderer now and then.
Sounds fun right up to the murdering.
At least now they're murdering Darkspawn.
Has your first warden always been, well,
a stubborn bastard?
One way of putting it.
He means well in his own way. He's old-fashioned. Tradition is everything. Keeps us disciplined. We never deviate from it.
He'll have to. Elgranon and Gillenane won't play by his rules.
If he even believes in them. The man doesn't have much imagination. Even the right sort can be the wrong sort.
I'd rather take my chances in prison.
It's not all bad.
When does it get good?
When Darkspawn threaten a village, when innocent people are in danger. Then we swoop in, swords held high, armor gleaming, while 100 faces look to us for salvation. And they all live to see the sunrise because of what we do.
Okay. Now I get it.
Best part is the warden fighting alongside you. Maybe they've done some bad things in the past. But after that day, it's different. There's some honor in their life where there wasn't before. Nothing like seeing redemption happen before your eyes.
Once a thief, always a thief.
Yeah? Is that experience talking?
I'm just saying I'd watch my back if I was a warden.
When the storm comes, you don't want farmers and florists fighting archdemons. It takes the wrong sort to put the world right.
Kind of like us, I suppose.
Minus the skeleton butler.
I don't know. Manfred the Warden. Has a ring to it.
How about we quit while we're ahead? See you around.
Why do you run around in fancy mage clothes?
Because I like them?
You're barely even wearing a shirt.
You fight Anton with a bare midriff.
Everything all right?
We're fine. Just trading fashion tips. So what I wear is a problem for you?
It's not. It's just... Why dress like that? Are you trying to make your mother happy?
I don't know what your problem is here, Tosh, but you're out of line.
Relax, Rook. I'm a big girl. Tosh, you mentioned me trying to make my mother happy. What's that have to do with how I dress?
It's just something my mother said the other day. That I act more like a man than a woman.
And you feel like you should wear dresses to make her happy?
No. Can you imagine me in a dress? I'd look stupider than I'd look stupid.
But Kunari wear dresses all the time. Your mother does.
I am not my mother.
Clear and to the point. But her words got under your skin, and it's not just about clothes.
It feels right when she says I act more like a man. It feels right. Why does it feel right?
Tosh, do you like being a woman?
Nobody likes being a woman.
Ah.
This is stupid. Forget I said anything.
Forget it or dig into it. Whatever you have to do. But if our dragon hunter isn't at her best, people will die.
Yeah, I'll figure out my crap. Whatever it is.
Some of my friends in Minrathous talk about not feeling comfortable in their own skin. As a man, as a woman. I could see if they'd like to talk. Maybe what they say fits how you're feeling.
Yeah. Okay. And thanks. You do look really pretty.
Oh?
To look at. I'd smudge your makeup.
Thanks for letting me down gently.
That was a little too real.
Lucanus? Where is he?
Pet the Griffin.
Nev. Settling back in?
More or less. Lots to catch up on, but when isn't there? I'm ready to get back to work. If we could skip the personal catch-up. Not the day for it.
Take all the time you need.
Okay, that just leaves Lucanus.
Back, demon! No further! Isn't standing up to them supposed to work?
Let Lucanus go! Don't make us hurt both of you!
What's going on? Lucanus?
It's not Lucanus, it's the demon. It's taking him over. He's trying to leave.
Smells like jam and brimstone.
Rook, do something!
Spite, this man is not your puppet, and stunts like this won't change that.
How did... Rook? Dash?
You tried to walk through the Illuvian in your sleep.
Spite wanted out.
I need coffee.
If you can't control this demon, I don't know if I can rely on you.
I can control him, and I will. It's hard for Spite to take control when I'm awake, so I try to stay awake.
You can't just stay awake forever. I think that would kill you.
I'll be more careful next time.
You need to restrain yourself while you sleep. Lock the door, tie yourself to the bed, whatever it takes.
I'll come up with something. And thanks.
cannot do this, Algernon. You swore that we would give up our commands when this horrific war was over.
Our people need our leadership. If you're unwilling, leave.
Our people must rebuild, and we must help unite them.
So, we did not fight for freedom, but to conquer this land and our own.
We fought to win, and now the Evanuris are as gods. I do not answer to Mythal's annoying lapdog.
The people are afraid. They must believe in something.
They need strength.
And wisdom.
They need gods who can protect them.
We are not gods. You will learn that.
Every lapdog hides a wolf inside.
That was strange. They were speaking Elven, but I understood it.
I believe we have experienced a memory in each of our native languages.
Not just any memory. One of the Dreadwolves.
And the mages who declared themselves my gods. Well, mine and Davrin's.
Anyone see anything in that memory we can use?
Elgranon was hungry for power. Did anything he could to get it, and to hold on to it.
Then Solus, furious at Elganon's installing himself as a despot, started his rebellion.
There's another moving part in this. Mythal. She was keeping the peace.
Mythal and Solus were close. The Inquisition found a temple to Mythal, and there were wolf statues everywhere.
Then she sides with Elgranon over him. A betrayal.
I think I get where Mythal is coming from.
Really?
You've just finished some big war. Everyone is exhausted, and now Elgranon won't give up power. If Mythal sided with Solus, would Elgranon have backed down?
Not a chance.
It would have led to another war. Mythal tried to keep the peace.
And Solus must see that, but still can't accept that she chose peaceful politics over his ideals.
Perhaps these murals aren't simply memories. They're what Solus wishes to forget.
His regrets. That means they're a way to learn his weak points.
Why are we worried about Solus? He's trapped.
Right. But the Dreadwolf was the god of trickery. He's looking for a way out. Bet on it.
Meanwhile, keep your eyes open in the crossroads. If there's a way to restore the rest of these murals, Solus would have kept it in his hideaway. It'd be nice to get inside his head for a change.
I was not certain you would come.
You were the one who walked away. I never turn my back when my friend needs me.
The Evanuris seek the magic of the Blight.
Impossible. The Blight is safely sealed away forever.
Oh, I wish I could believe you. I have sensed the breaking of the wards.
I will investigate your claims. If they forget the danger of the Blight, I will endeavor to remind them.
What if, instead, you left the Evanuris and remained with me? Do you not wish for freedom from this struggle?
Be at peace, love. I will stop them.
As you must. The Blight is our mistake.
Did Mythal call Solus love in that memory?
That's what it sounded like.
So they were doing it.
The elven gods were free with their emotions. They felt things deeply. The way they expressed things, well, it feels romantic to us, but that wasn't really how it was. Back then, I mean.
Nah, they were doing it.
Whether they were doing it or not, Solus cared about her. That's what matters.
So the Dreadwolf goes to Mythal. They might be fighting, but they have history.
And he warns her about the other gods using the Blight. That's more important than his rebellion. It's like kingdoms coming together when an archdemon rises.
Mythal didn't think it was possible. She said the Blight was sealed away. There's an old legend about it. Davrin, the one with Andrul's armor. Not sure it matters.
We are deep in Elven lore already. What's the legend say?
Right. Well, Andrul was the goddess of the hunt. She put on armor, magic armor, made of something called the Void, drove her mad.
I remember this one. The other gods were afraid Andrul would turn on them. She was doing all kinds of horrible things, causing plagues. It does sound like the Blight.
Well, it all ends with Mythal fighting Andrul. After, Mythal turned into a dragon.
She what? Why didn't you start with that?
Anyway, she took Andrul's armor away. Then Andrul's madness left, and peace returned.
Intriguing. So it's possible Andrul stumbled onto the magic of the Blight.
And when Andrul went mad, Mythal took it from her and locked it away.
Until someone started using it again.
The Blight's one of the only things that really scares Solus. He came to Mythal afraid.
And she took it seriously, too.
So Mythal goes off to investigate what Solus says. Then, what? It's too clean.
Seems plenty messy with them doing it.
But this isn't just a memory. It's something Solus wanted to hide. What's the crime? What did we see here that he feels guilty about?
I think I might know. When the Inquisitor was saving the world from the breach, he met Mythal.
What? Like in a dream?
It was complicated. She helped the Inquisition. There was a magic pond and a dragon.
Nice.
The point is, she also said the other elven gods betrayed her, killed her.
Okay, sorry. Point of order. If they killed Mythal, how was she still around to help the Inquisition?
Rook, as a fellow watcher, you know there are ways.
I'm not saying she couldn't help from beyond the grave. I'm just asking how.
Elven god magic? She'd spent centuries gathering strength and sharing people's bodies, I think.
If it was a truly benign possession, that speaks to her character.
So there's the shame Solus wanted to erase. He blames himself for Mythal's murder.
Well, it's not just that she died.
What do you mean, Tosh?
It's... Ugh. There was stuff he wanted to tell her, but he waited too long, and then she was dead. He never got to make it right. That twists you up.
That's it. There's our crime.
Doesn't really tell us anything we can use, though.
We know more than we did. That's something.
Then I guess we keep our eyes open if we come across more of these memories.
Oh, hello. I'm doing alright. Ooh, another memory.
You dare to try to cage us, jealous of our growing power!
You will pay the final price for this betrayal.
We warned you not to use the Blight. For this, and for Mythal, I sentence you to sleep in exile ever after. Your own lives will form the veil that keeps the horror you unleashed at bay.
So he locked the gods away and created a veil between this world and the Fade. I mean, they were terrible, no question. But what he did, it didn't just stop them. It destroyed our culture, our world.
It wasn't just to stop them. It was to stop the Blight. We've seen how bad Elganon and Gillenane are. Imagine all 7 corrupted gods running wild.
So he created the Veil just to keep the elven gods locked in their prison?
Yes, to keep them from accessing the Fade. But was the creation of the Veil around the world an accident?
You heard him yelling. That's not the sound of a ritual going right.
What do you think, Rook?
Honestly, it's a little terrifying. I've studied the Fade for years with the Watchers. The idea that the Veil, a fundamental part of our world, was an accident as Solus sprang his trap?
Astonishing. How little we truly know.
And a good reminder not to start spells you don't know how to finish.
I had another question, and I'm sorry, maybe this doesn't matter, but Solus trapped the blighted gods in an ancient elven building, right?
That's what it looks like. Maybe a palace? Fancier than what I've seen in Arlathan, at least.
And then, the Magisters were lured into the Fade. They broke in, which let the Blight escape, and turned the Golden City black.
Right, and the Black City hangs in the Fade, a little reminder of their mistakes. What's wrong, Lace?
It's just... the Chant of Light says that the Maker built for them the Golden City, the center of all creation. But if the Golden City was an ancient elven palace, then the Maker didn't build it. The elves did. The Chant of Light is Andraste's visions from the Maker, but it sounds like it's wrong.
You're asking if we just disproved the entire Andrastian faith.
Did we?
That's a problem for Chantry scholars to worry about. We have a world to save from the gods who definitely exist and also want to kill us.
Looks like there are 3 more of these murals with the Dreadwolf's old memories. Wonder what else he's hiding.
You have so long observed the world. Why not consider joining it?
But I have no desire to live as humans. I have the Fade. Besides, this talk of taking on a solid form. I think you underestimate the danger. When you took the glowing stone to build your body, did the earth not shake?
Delirium gives us the strength we had when we were of the Fade. We are the best of physical and spirit. I need your wisdom, Solus. To withstand the louder voices who would go too far like Elganon. I need you.
This is madness. You must know that. I will always follow where you go.
What?
This is astounding. The ancient elves were spirits who voluntarily manifested a physical form.
I'd rather go back to talking about the Blight.
Hey, Lucanus. Could Spite turn into an elf?
No.
Sorry, but... what?
All right, so elves are sort of spirits. What do we do with that?
To be clear, this memory only shows that the first elves originated from spirits. Balara, you and Davrin are no more spirits than anyone else conceived naturally.
Conceived naturally? Guess I'll go ask my mother.
The knowledge that an entire people were formed from a mass manifestation could change our entire understanding of magic.
If we let it out, is that the right call? Do you want bigoted humans yelling about how elves are demons?
Davrin's got a point. World's not short on small-minded humans.
I don't think people will care right now. We've got evil gods trying to destroy the world.
Evil elven blighted gods. Don't forget.
We have to tell someone, though. Strife and Irulan, at least.
If I told Thea and Viago, they'd think I was sampling Viago's poison collection. No one would believe us.
Okay. We keep this to people we trust who have good reason to know. No shouting it from the rooftops.
Agreed. The Morn Watch has a great deal of experience keeping dangerous secrets.
So, beyond the world-shaking stuff, what else did we learn here? Solus himself was a spirit.
What kind do you think he was?
Well, his name is Elven for pride.
Oh, okay.
There's something else. Not about spirits, or not all about them at least. Solus didn't want to become a person with a physical body.
Right. He only agreed after Mythal begged him.
Then that's his regret. He wishes he'd never taken physical form.
Maybe, but not just that. Solus was scared. They built their bodies out of lyrium, and it made the ground shake.
They took the blood of the Titans, our blood, and didn't even notice.
Or didn't care.
And when the Titans defended themselves...
The first memory we saw, with Elgranon seizing power, it happened at the end of a war.
A war between the Titans and the Elves.
Those power-hungry bastards.
It feels like we still don't have the full picture. But I think that's part of what Solus regrets. He didn't see the danger.
Except he did. He was worried. You said it yourself.
He did it for Mythal. Everything that followed, he could have prevented, if he just told her no.
Then he's got a war on his conscience. Plus, whatever we find next.
Have you created what we need?
With this, the proper ritual will sunder every Titan from its spirit. But you must know those severed dreams will certainly be driven mad. A disembodied blight of pain and anger. It is awful what we're doing.
And the only way to end this war.
Solus made the weapon that killed the Titans. No, not killed. He cut away their dreams and left them broken and mindless. He passed me in the halls of Skyhold for a year. He made polite conversation, and he knew. He knew what he did.
He spent so much time talking about how sad he was for what he'd done to the elves. They lost their immortality because of him. They lost their empire because of him. My people can't dream. Nobody but Harding even knows what it's like. He took that from us. From me.
I'm sorry.
You didn't do it.
Our leaders attacked the Titans for their lyrium. Then, when the war turned against the elves, our leaders did this.
And when the war was over, they enslaved your ancestors. No. Solus, Mythal, and Elgranon are the ones who need to apologize.
To do such a thing. No wonder regret eats away at Solus.
No, it's worse than that. That isn't what Solus regrets. Those severed dreams will be driven mad. A disembodied blight of pain and anger.
Mierda.
You can't. That's not possible.
When a warden hears the calling, it's like a song in their mind. Sound familiar to you, Lace?
The song of Lyrium. Of the Titans.
We think of the Blight as this monstrous force with no mercy, no compassion. Evil incarnate. Instead, it's a caged animal. Mistreated and imprisoned for centuries. Until all it knows is fear.
In all my talks with him, Solus hates the Blight more than anything. Even more than Elgranon. But it wasn't hatred, it was guilt. He knew this could happen, and he still didn't stand up to Mythal and stop it.
Each of these memories has been a deeper regret, and almost all of them involve Mythal.
Only one mural left to uncover by my count. If we find it, we'll see what's worse than this. The voices again.
Untold years asleep, only to see our sanctums defiled. Even Arlathan is trampled by cast-offs and mortals. We must secure the Illuvians.
We shall. The Ontom are uneasy in the crossroads, but they know their duty.
If they fail, give the best preserve to me for improvement.
Dead on, Tom? We're already on it.
The deeper currents.
Ready for a fight?
Start up the rain!
The Shadow Drive.
The path can be breached. Bring what the gods have hidden.
Right. Where were we? That... Solid!
Those ruins feel a bit more solid than the rest of the magic around here. Elves must have actually lived in them.
It's another of those statuettes. The memory fragments.
Conveniently placed.
Ambush!
And there it is.
Looking good. What'd I tell you? Crap. Statue wasn't even real.
You were right, Tosh. But if the fate is mostly reflections of something else, the real one could be close. Another of those Fen'Harel altars. Break through! The Ontom are trying to cut us off!
Let them try!
Here we go. Rook gets that one.
I'd say that's where we're headed.
Watch yourself. They got us at range.
Well, look at that.
You can tell this statuette is the real thing, a memory fragment, and not just because it was very well guarded.
The Shadow Dragons were nice. May and the rest.
We have our moments.
They talked about gender. Stuff. And I didn't get all of it, but it helped. So, thanks.
Anytime.
Right. Okay. Okay, that's what this is.
I knew that you would find me soon enough. You need the power of a god, the strength that I alone still carry.
The blighted Evanuris will soon break free from their prison. I must make a stronger one that can contain them.
While the prison is important, it is not the only goal you seek.
Why should I not tear down the veil and bring back immortality to all the Elven people? They deserve it.
The Elven people of today do not deserve to see the world they love be torn apart to salve your conscience.
I must fix what I have broken. I am sorry.
As am I, old friend.
Solus killed Mythal? After all that? Is this another memory from a different time?
No. He wore that same outfit in the Inquisition. We knew Solus woke up in this world without most of his power. Now we know how he got it back.
By killing the only other god around and stealing her power.
All that epic magic and godly power. In the end, it comes down to love and murder. Same as always.
All these memories are about Solus being sad that he was right and nobody else could see it. He was right about how becoming elves would lead to war with the Titans, but Mythal wouldn't listen.
He was right that using the dagger on the Titans was evil, but Mythal wouldn't listen.
He was so proud when he imprisoned the other gods. Finally, he got to prove that he was right and they were wrong.
Then he wakes up in our time and finds out he was wrong. The elves have nothing. The Blight's a constant threat.
And Mythal's alive, somehow. But she still won't listen.
But this time, he'll show her. No matter what it takes.
So, how does everything we know help us now?
He's being honest about fighting the Blight. Whatever happens, he won't risk letting it back out into the world.
Agreed. But he has a plan to escape that prison, and not one we'll like.
He turned on Mythal, the one person he was actually loyal to. There's no way he won't turn on us.
He's a spirit, or was once. He might be able to possess someone, affect minds, all the things spirits do.
He created the veil. His very nature is tied to it. That will be a source of strength, but also a potential weakness.
Mythal has them all messed up. Anything about her or Elgernon is gonna make him angry. Sloppy.
Solus thinks he knows what's best for everyone. Anything he does, he'll do while telling himself he's the hero.
That gives us something to start from. Elgernon and Gillenane are the two big problems right now. But when Solus makes his move, we'll be ready.
You have witnessed the Protector's tale, Dweller. Almost to its end.
Almost? How can there be more?
When the mighty fall, their echoes cross the ages. An audience is warranted. Speak with your visitor. She awaits you in the crossroads.
Well met, Rook.
How did you get here?
I did tell you I had my ways through Illuvians when I introduced you to the Inquisitor, did I not?
The Illuvians in general, yes, but not the Dreadwolf's Crossroads.
I would think you have more pressing questions at the moment. Questions about Solus and Mythal?
Mythal?
The two gods have always been linked, have they not? First, when Mythal bade her companion spirit to abandon the Fade and take on mortal form. Then, when Solus spilled Mythal's mortal blood, that he might absorb her power as his own.
Wait, how do you know exactly what we saw of Solus's past?
Think upon it, Rook. You saw for yourself in the Dreadwolf's memories. When Mythal stood against the gods' manipulations of the Blight, she was betrayed and struck down. Yet she survived and returned ages later to aid the Inquisition in its hour of need. How?
So, if Mythal was originally a spirit, maybe that's how she survived her body's death.
Very good. Mythal was a spirit turned elven. And when her body was struck down, to spirit, she returned. Her essence sheltered in a willing mortal vessel. Over the centuries, she journeyed from host to host, slowly amassing her former power anew. Until once again, she was struck down, on this occasion, by Solus. He absorbed her power, but not her memories.
Then where did they... Wait. You?
As you say.
So you're the next host of Mythal?
Believe it or not, as you choose.
What? That was like how Elgernon and Gillenane can talk in your head, but...
'Twas Mythal you heard, her echoes. Yet I am not the goddess returned.
What are you then?
I once feared Mythal would consume me were I to carry her, but 'twas not so. I remained free-willed and mortal. What I now possess is but a spark of Mythal, shadowed memories through which to sift for meaning. As to our admixture, I suspect you have questions.
You would have met Solus in the Inquisition, right?
I did indeed. 'Twas before I possessed Mythal's memories. At the time, I thought Solus a scowling elven apostate whose sole passion was finding arguments. He heard me, in all my ignorance, expound on the histories of the elven people, explaining legends he had witnessed himself.
Bet he loved that.
'Tis not a memory that brings me pride.
Do you have information we can use against Gillenane or Elgernon? Or Solus?
The last time Mythal faced Elgernon and Gillenane, she was struck down by the very dagger you now carry.
What about Solus?
You may recall he murdered Mythal's former host to claim her godly might as his own. I hoard no untapped magical secrets, Rook. What I do possess, I share freely with you and the Veil Jumpers.
All right. How can you carry Mythal's soul if you're not an elf?
Her spark has sheltered within both elves and humans who were sympathetic to her in thought and circumstance. Mythal's last host was a woman wronged, trapped by those sworn to love her. We may readily imagine their kinship.
So, there's the soul of an elven god inside you. How does that even happen?
Mythal's last host was my mother, Flemeth.
Oh.
When I learned she intended me to become the next receptacle of an ancient god's soul, I feared naught would be left of my own. It inevitably came to pass on a deep night. I was awakened by the presence of a blaze of magic in the shape of a woman who both was and was not my mother.
This isn't the strangest thing I've heard, but it's close.
'Tis difficult to describe, even now. Mythal's memories were both gift and burden, this blazing woman told me, but I must accept them of my own accord. The decision was paralyzing. What would it mean to become such a host? What would be lost if I refused? In the end, 'twas something in my mother's voice which guided me.
What was that?
Regret. Not the regret of a god, but of a mother who knew she would never see me again. And so, my mind remains my own. What I gained was knowledge, both Mythal's and of those who bore her.
You didn't come out here just to tell me you're Mythal.
I am not Mythal in her entirety, but yes, the Dreadwolf has occasion to visit you in dreams, where he portions out advice. And now, after finding his memories, you have peered into his deepest sorrows. Tell me then, what do you make of Solus?
I should ask you. Mythal knew Solus better than anyone.
I would influence your answer. Or do you mean to discover if I would stand directly against the Dread Wolf, were there a need?
Would you?
I shall aid you in any way but that, even had I the power. What has passed between Solus and Mythal? I beg you, do not ask this of me again.
Well, Solus killed the Titans, destroyed the ancient elves, and wants to ruin this world to bring back his old one. But he'll always make sure you hear just how sad he is about all the murder.
If that is how you see him, perhaps the Dread Wolf's words have not served as well as he might wish.
I'll say.
'Tis not malice which made Solus your opponent, but conviction, a belief that only he may halt what he set in motion. Yet Solus was once beloved of Mythal. 'Tis his very loyalty and love for his people that led to the tragedy we now face. You may be in a position to determine how it ends, more so than either of you might realize.
If that's what it takes.
Such determination. Have you not even a tremor of doubt?
Wouldn't do me any good.
If you would shape the outcome of your battle, I've one last secret to share. When Mythal was struck down by the other gods, it was with her own Lyrium dagger, the dagger you now carry. Solus recovered it from Elganon, and from it extracted a fragment of Mythal that had lain hidden within its depths. This fragment, a younger sister to the one I carry, if you will, resides here, in the crossroads. I can open the way for you. Find her, survive the encounter, and the essence you obtain will aid you in times to come.
Another fragment of Mythal? In addition to the one inside you?
You are aware of what the word fragment means, are you not? One small piece of many, formed when something greater is broken. The first elves were spirits, as you well know, and when a spirit is broken, it may shatter into pieces, each holding part of the original. Among the ancient elves who became known as gods, Durthaman and his brother, Falondine, are but one example.
I'll survive. What do I need to know?
You know Solus, and have seen Elganon, and memories of Mythal. They are creatures of emotion, as all spirits are. The fragment of Mythal that resides in me lived among mortals for thousands of years. She has grown wiser and more patient. This younger sister has not. She is the essence of Mythal as a god. She is unlikely to listen to polite requests, and though she is but a fragment of the goddess, the battle will test you sorely.
If she's just going to attack us, why tell us about her at all? We have enough enemies already.
A fragment of a god's essence is a powerful thing. It may give you options against Elganon and Gillenane, or against the Dread Wolf himself, should he prove as cunning and treacherous as ever.
If I were to try to talk with her, Do you have any suggestions?
She will demand respect, but detest flattery. She appreciates righteous anger, but will not tolerate pity. She is, for want of better phrasing, prickly. But if you are determined to try, then I wish you luck.
You would know this aspect of Mythal better than anyone. Could you try talking to her?
I dare say she would attack me on sight.
Spirits can't get along with fragments of each other?
Spirits, certainly. But the aspects of a self-righteous god who have walked different paths for ages? One bears the insult of her betrayal by the Evanurus, and then by Solus, as fresh wounds, insult upon injury. The other once fell in love with an Alamari chieftain and lived happily in a swamp for centuries. Each reminds the other that another path existed, that they could have been wrong, and nothing angers Mythal like being wrong.
What kind of spirit was Mythal before she became an elf? I know Solus is elven for pride.
Mythal enjoyed ruling and having power, but it came not from the overweening desire to crush resistance, as is the case with Algernon. The emotion that inspired her might best be described as benevolence, a guiding hand, inclined to kindness. But like any spirit, when angered or twisted against her purpose, a more violent aspect arose. Where the Dreadwolf's wisdom gave way to pride when the world did not meet his standards, Mythal's benevolence gave way to retribution. After all, when kindness fails, the guilty must be punished.
Thank you for the information, Morgan.
I only ask that you reflect upon what I have said. The Dreadwolf is not so apart from the world as he thinks. There, you have the advantage of him.
Okay, I think I'm gonna call it there, guys. And I might see you all later. If not tonight, then definitely tomorrow. Bye.